That's better. All right, now you can see. All right, so at 100%, this is what it looks like. I feel sort of okay about this, but I don't know. That's right. So the last stream I got cut off and had to take a phone call, very important call, and so I just couldn't end the last stream the way I wanted. So I think I got like 20 minutes of actual stuff done on that stream and achieved basically just turning this button from the primary to this warning state, the orange version of this button, which is fine. So for this one to delete, I can hit that and it should delete it. So that's good, but I also wanted a... I wonder what happens if I hit that twice. What happens there? Double click that. Okay, yeah, cool. So the request would fail because we're sending the... Actually just sending the second one is sending a request saying, hey, we've got this. I don't know. I don't know if I should even care. I should probably make that inactive so that if someone does a double click, it shouldn't really matter. So that's what we'll do today as well. This bad boy right here. So we are building a resume builder application. I know there are many resume builders available on the internet, but this one is mine and I'm building it for fun. So we want the user can update their resume content. They can create different versions of their resume based on the jobs that they apply for. They can save roles and descriptions and cover letters for those jobs that they apply for. They can access their data by API. And I was thinking of just providing just like a full REST API for people to be able to create, read, update, and delete their own data. That's gonna happen after I build out the full application, so the full internal application. For now, we're just gonna focus on the like the minimum viable product, you would call it. So in the model structure, we've got a user, has many professions and positions, has contact details. They can have many resumes. They can also have, has many summaries. So what I think is that, you know, in terms of where the relationship sits, like this, First of all, this like task tree doesn't really help you visualize the relationships between everything. So really, when you think about a user, I mean, a user has a relationship, a direct relationship with all of these objects in the system, but each of these different objects can also have relationships. So, you know, relationships with each other. So for instance, a resume is not really a document containing content. A resume is really just a collection of all of these other pieces of content. So a resume is essentially just going to be like, you know, if you think about what is a resume going to contain? Ugh, what am I doing here? So a resume is going to be maybe a title and maybe a description, because you may as well have a title and description. But then from there, all it really is going to be a bunch of, it's going to be a bunch of like pivot table relationships. So just a bunch of many-to-many relationships. So, you know, you're going to have a resume employer table, for example. So many to many, or belongs to many. Does that make sense? I think it does. If I get there, if I get anything good? Nothing popped up good. Just a recruiter hit me up on LinkedIn. Nope, don't need that. All right, cool. So yeah, so the resume, well, I mean, if we respect the pivot table, it's going to be more like a employer resume table. For the pivot. And I wonder if maybe on that, would you change the order of where that employer shows up on your pivot table by the, you know, so in that pivot table, you could put like a column of, say, column of order. No, you probably don't want order there. You could probably do a, maybe like a object, like a JSON object. Or do you want that? I'm just thinking about how would you be able to like move around the items in your resume? That can be a problem for another day. I think I'll give that a miss for now. And instead, we're going to forget about column, or we're going to forget about the order in which all of the employees show up. And instead, we're just going to show them in order of when. So what we might do, we might go for employers. I think I also need to add, so we want an end date and start date. We want to create and delete function. We want, I think I might put that after this. So we want to create and delete function like we've got for roles. We already have an end and start date in roles, so that's good. And I think we want to updating end date. Updating the end date could update the employer's end date. Yep. Hey, hey, who am I? 1509. Welcome back. Good to see you. So I don't know exactly when you popped in, but I've got a couple of plans. You missed yesterday's stream, and that is okay. I was only on for like 25 minutes, and I had a phone call halfway through. Yeah, that's okay. It was very little happened yesterday. I had a phone call pop up. I was feeling very sick as well. So yeah, good to see you again today. So today I'm thinking that we're going to hit a... I'm going to tinker with the employers. I'll add a create and delete button and function and route for employers. And I'm also going to add a start and end date for employers as well. And the reason for that is I'm just sort of realized that in terms of laying out the data or laying out the employers and roles on a resume page, you really want to order those by like the end date essentially. So your end date, the most recent end date should be at the top of the page, and older ones obviously further down the page. It's just the most sensible way to lay out a resume, or it's the standard way to lay out a resume. So we're going to do that. So I'm going to get started. I might just jump into the back end and start looking at a create function for employers. What am I doing? Where's my thing? Here we go. Okay, so let's do employer controller. So we got an update role controller. I've got a update and a create. And again, we don't want to do a refresh. And we want to follow a lot of the same rules that we're following before. So I won't need the employer card. I won't need the role card. I won't need welcome. Shouldn't need this or this. I am just going to want... I might just be a little bit dirty here and just cheat. I'll keep this one close by. Okay, so we'll create. I'm not fetching the employer. It is a request, employer. Okay, so we're not validating. Actually, this is going to be heaps easier too, because we don't have a parent relationship that we need to worry about for creating an employer. So the I don't want that as a failed message. See the way I'm doing see the way I'm doing that. So don't do that there. Update, create. Yeah, so I don't need to check anything. Essentially, I'm just going to create a new employer object, attach the user, and that's it. Really, it's nothing else to do. So I'll take that one out. I'm going to take... Oh no! Did that to the wrong one. So we want employer equals emp equals new employer, and then we want name, and description, and then we want we will want a start, and we will also want an end, but we don't have these in the database yet. user ID. Or can I just put user equals auth user? I wonder if that would do it. Or do I need to attach? And then I put that in there. Okay, let's see what that does. So create. I don't even need a request, do I? Because we've already got the authorized user, so I don't need to pass in a request object. Yeah. All right, and so here we'll go update employer. I want to move that into its own sort of group. Create. Okay, now we'll head back over to the front end. And so here I think we're in dashboard. We've got employer card, and we're going to have a add employer button. Red employer. Not really sending anything through. Man, it barely even needs a post, does it? Like, this could just be a get, because I'm not passing any parameters to it. Yeah, I'm just going to do a get. You know, if I was doing a... Like, it's different for role because I'm passing through details of which employer, but I'm going to just change that to a get. I don't know, actually, that sort of defies conventions, doesn't it? Because you are still essentially, I don't know, because you're making a change to the database. So should we be calling it post even though we're not passing through any parameters? But because this route is making a change to the database, do we call that a post because we're posting a new employer or a new object generally? Yeah, Yeah, post is better. I agree. If I was just retrieving something and I wasn't actually creating something in the database, I would, yeah, get makes sense. But using a get implies that you are not creating or changing anything in the database. It sort of implies that all you're doing is just getting something. So if you're posting, doesn't matter if you're pushing stuff, like if you're sending a parameter through. So I'm going to follow your logic there as well. So let's call it a... I mean, I can just pass in an empty object. So I'm pretty sure that should still work without issue. All right, well, let's see. Let's see what that does. So this is down the bottom of the page. We get an add employer. And in our network, we get an error. Oh, goody. Create employer. I wonder if I've still not updated. Oh yeah, I have. So create employer, employer controller, create. Over here at employer controller, create. Right, okay. So this is not actually working that way. So attach belongs to, yeah, that's not working. I can do it just the lazy way. So do user ID. And if we hit that again, we get back the employer. Cool, and so it's not putting that, if I try to save, it's not going to work that way. So because I don't have these in the database yet. So let's have a look at the database and these migrations. We'll just find the employers table. And so I've got two ones here. Do I want them nullable? Yeah, I definitely want end to be nullable. Because, you know, if you've got no end date, well, I mean, that should go at the top. Although, what does that... How am I going to order by end date if it's not actually... If there is no value there? So I want the latest end date to be in that field. Ah, well, can I order results by end date and then order those results by start date? Huh. I don't know. Let's have a look. Collections? Oh, database, queries. Ordering, grouping, limiting. Order by name, order by this. I should probably not make them nullable. What I should do instead is maybe just have excuse me, can you get out of here? I've got my cat and my dog doing World War III under my desk. Hey. Oh, they'll sort each other out. Okay, so not there. Latest and oldest. Maybe I should just have like a flag that says I currently work here. And we can just make that a Boolean. So you can just like tick your, just a tick box that says this is my current role. And then that means that any of those, like anything that has that can be put at the top. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. So I'll leave these as nullable, and I might just go table bool, and we'll call it current. Default is false. Because the vast majority of time that you're entering a employer, it's going to be your history. So, you know, if you've worked somewhere for the last, you know, if you're, imagine you're a new user, you're coming in and you're entering your employment history to start using this application. The vast majority of those employers are going to be former employers and not current employers. So it just makes sense to just have the current as that. So I know I've got data in the tables here, and it's an ugly way to do it, but I am just going to drop my tables and redo this again. So that's right, I want another one of these. And we are going to go sale, sale, RT, great, refresh. Sweet, now I've got those sitting here. Maybe I should have gone through and just put a new migration in here, but I don't want to, you know, I haven't deployed the application yet, so I can get away with this. And this way I also get to test the sign up experience again, just get used to that. Sweet. Okay, I gotta just log back into my password manager. Oh man, this is killing me. Could you stop it? Okay. Sorry to keep you waiting, folks. Let's just try this again. Oop. No, we want register. I don't even want that. I just want to see what the front page is. So I got to register. Okay. All right. Here we are. Yes. Add password. Very good. All right. So let's add an employer, and then we get the success message back. So message success, good news. So we're creating a new employer. I don't get, that's right, because I'm not, I haven't got those dates, those date fields already set up, and they are not mass assignable yet because I haven't updated the model. So let's have a look at the model for employer. We can see here we've got nope, I wanted that. Start. Bugger. And current. And then I also want protected casts, and we want start is date time date, no, it's on roll. I'm just gonna copy that. So date time and I think is there a Boolean casts? I think there is. I think there is. Casts. Attribute casting. Yeah, cast property should be an array where the key is the name of the attribute. So you have to cast it as a Boolean. So is admin Boolean in our database as an integer, which is stored. So okay, so demonstrate attribute casting. Let's cast the is admin attribute, which is stored in our database as an integer, 0 or 1 to a Boolean value. So after defining the cast is admin attribute will always be cast to a Boolean when you access it, even if the underlying value is stored as an integer. Sweet. Cool. That's what we want. Cool. So that should be right. Then this one. Okay, and then over here at, no, we don't need role anymore. Don't need that. So employer. I'm just going to see employer controller. Oh, I'm spacing out here. Sorry about that. So I guess I'd just save it. But I guess I'll go current. So these are both null. This is current, and that is false. If I go add employer. Okay, so it failed. Unknown column current in field list. So let's have a look here. So in employers, name, description, start, end. I betcha this happened because I didn't save. Yeah, so I've got, yeah, I did migrate, but in VS Code, I've just got, so if I go back here, migrations. So before I changed focus from this application, so in my autosave settings, settings, autosave is set to after delay. Oh. After which an editor with unsaved changes is automatically changed. Ah, here we are. So it saves on window change. I should probably just do on focus change, hey? An editor with changes is automatically saved when the editor loses focus. When the window loses focus. Automatically saved. I'm just going to set that to after delay because that would have prevented that issue from happening before. So because I didn't change windows, you know, I didn't like alt tab to the other window. I made the change and then it just didn't auto save. So I think just changing it to after delay is going to work better for me. I'll make that. No, 1 second is 1 second is fine. Cool. Okay, done. So that means I just got to remigrate, which is fine. You know, there is a way to open the terminal. There is a keyboard shortcut to open terminal, and I can't remember what it is. It's Control-Shift-tilde. I just don't want to keep opening that. Alright, once again, just going to go in and register. Okay. Okay, so we want to hit add employer. And that gives us a create employer. We get a success message. So that employer should be sitting there in the table. Now, if I refresh, that employer should show up. But we don't want to have to refresh. We just want to populate that in the employers thing. Ooh, actually. Oh, I want to delete this employer. I'm going to delete this. I'm just going to go into Table Plus here and refresh that. I'm going to delete this row. So why did I do that? I wanted to check and see if when this page shows up, do we get an employers array already? We do. Cool. So there is an empty array, which is good because when I press add employer, I want that the employer that's returned to get pushed into that employers array. What am I doing? So that is what we shall do. Let's go over to dashboard, create employer. We've got the pretty sure it will just be a data.emp, isn't it? Oh no, gives us employer. Nice. Okay. So it adds that. Right. All right. Now there's a couple of things that I think it did well on the role. On the employer card where I add so I do a role loading and I do a little bit of fanciness to stop that click prevent. Yeah, so I do a little bit of stuff here. So I'm going to do the same thing over here. And then also need to do some toast. Because I also use toast. And we do toast over here as well. Sweet. So this button, we want to get a div. Also put a btn primary. And I think I also just put the cursor weight class on there. And we go with a if employee loading. Is that it? Uh-oh. Oh no, what have I done? Oh, yep, cool. Aha, alright. Is that going to do the right thing? Yeah, cool. Alright, so that looks a bit better. Is my phone just listening to me and making noise? Just keeps hitting me. No, okay. I think it's because I keep saying okay. So every time I say okay, my phone wakes up and thinks I'm talking to it. Anyway. Alright, so add an employer. Great, we get a new employer. So now we've got a couple of those other bits and pieces. I am going to put some of this stuff from the employer name, role card. Actually, in the role card, I've got just dates. I'm going to put that in there. Actually, I've even got a delete button. I'm going to put that in between the employer card. So just in between here in the description. Just see what that does. So employer. Employer. Delete. Employer. Update. Update employer. So that should be it. It's not employer, it's emp. Damn it. That's right. Okay, so now for employer. What's happening there? It should be on the card. Text input. Delete employer. What's happening? So I wonder if it's maybe just these. Maybe I just don't have functions. Property employer, blah, blah, blah. Yep, that's fine. Employer card. Reading end. Cannot read properties of undefined. Reading end. On employer card. Undefined. There it is. Emp. Cool. All right, so delete. We don't want that. We want to just take all these and put them in a div. Gap 4 like it was on the other. With that delete button, I'm going to need to put a... Cool, so now it looks like the role does. Employer name. Cool, so start date. That's probably not terrible. I could probably just put the start date. I could just make the start date today as well. I'm going to just on here. Let's drop role, update employer, and delete employer. Man, what the hell's happening here? Come on. So that's fine. Just with this delete. So what I'm thinking here is this delete. Want to get a, where am I? So this delete thing here. If I just have, say, like a delete role. If I put that, I don't even need to, actually I don't even need to really have state. Yeah, no, I do. So I'm thinking that I'll just do like an emp.deleting role, and I'll put that in the function. So you're essentially attaching that property as a true or false in the role thing. So, and deleting role. Where is delete? Oh, that's delete employer. Oh, of course, because here, delete role. So I'm going to start with the delete role. And I'm just going to add this logic to the delete role side of things. So first we're going to take the role and we're going to put deleting. Wait. I'm going to go true. And then we will go. Actually, I don't need to change that because it's just deleting it. But if I wanted to do it here, I'd go false. So that the button becomes available again. So we're going to put a... Oh no, it's not even going to have that. Oh no. Instead... Can I just use like vanilla JavaScript to update that? Update this button. So this delete button. We do like a get element by ID. And it's role ID. And then I find a find a oh yeah, it's got a height. Oh, I started doing that yesterday. Ugh, I don't want to do that. Not just yet. So I suppose it's in the role card And I don't really need to worry about that too much because, yeah, I don't need to attach a property to the card, to the role element, the role like object in the array. I don't have to do that because, where am I? So I don't need to do this. Instead, I can just specify it because each role card is its own little instance. So I can just do this. Oh my god. Okay, so I can do that. Yep. And then I can do that div trick. Just see what that does. Oh yeah, of course. Deleting weight. Nice. Okay. All right, that's what I wanted. Just this means that the preventing the double clicks is good. That's going to work. Okay. So I can do the same on the employer. I do kind of hate the way it sits in there. Oh no. I don't want that. Add role. Delete role. Add role. Delete role. What do I want to do here? I think I want to sort of just indent the roles under this. I really want to just like add some visual, like a bit of a visual cue to say that your role is different to your employer, because I mean, you look at this, roles and employers look almost exactly the same, and if it wasn't for the border, there's not a lot of visual cues to say that you're working on the role rather than you're working on the employer. So I'm going to do that. I'm just going to chuck a cheeky bit of something on the side here. Is it align bottom? Okay. I'm gonna just BRB getting snacks. I'm gonna be back. I'm gonna get some snacks because my stomach is growling at me, and I'm gonna work out how to put like an indent border in here. What is that? I got it the other day too. Like docs line. I think I just like aligned self. I think it needs to be a flex. You need to specify flex. Role title. So if you specify flex, it's going to do that. Really? Yeah, so you do flex and you're going to make it. Shouldn't need flex though. Uh-oh. Oh no. Tailwind docs. Tailwind docs are broken. Oh. Yeah, let's see the browser console. Oh. I wonder if just a refresh will do that. Ah, very good. Okay, all right. Moving on. So, layout. Align content. Aha, content. So, it should just be content baseline, I guess? Or is it end? Evenly. Content end. Why do they have a baseline? I just want that to sit at the bottom of that div, you know? I just don't want it to be hovering up here. And I also kind of don't want to have to just put like a spacer div above it. Nope. I wonder if it's like items. So items center. Items end. Flex end. Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, that's got it. I don't mind that. Cool. So you tell it it's a flex box, and then items end is flex end. That's good. That's good enough. Cool. All right, moving on. Oh, I wonder if it does this. Does it? Cool. So the div obeys that same rule as well. So you probably saw before the div was not obeying that same rule. So, you know, the div was essentially looking or behaving a different way to the button, which is why I wanted to make sure I just got some consistency across those two elements, because it looked bad. I'm going to put some padding left, and that is going to be 4. So it just goes indent a little bit, and I think because this, like this whole card, I think I like that. Yeah. So I want to put the add roll button in there. I think I do. Div here. There we go. Oh, do I need padding left there? No, I don't think I do. There we go, padding top 4. Yeah, cool. That looks better. Just a little bit of visual hierarchy to remind you that, you know, you're working on the role, not the employer, and it looks a bit better. It also just shows up as well on mobile. Oh, here we go. It's something we're paying attention to. So the gap. Oh, what goes on there? What do I get? Ah, respecting smaller screens. So it respects smaller screens on this one, but not on... So on the role, it's okay, but on the employer, it does not. So let's just see what I've done here. Start and end date. Might have those in a start date. Ah, here you go. Right, yeah. So there's no flex. It's just in the column. Yeah, that makes sense. Although, should I just go flex? flex col. And that way I get my gap as well. Because I really want it to just... Yeah, so I want that. I want it to give me that gap, and then sm flex row. Yeah, that's what I want. So I want it to be a flex column, and then over small screens it goes to flex row. And in both cases, we get a gap of 4 between the items, which I like. I'm not thrilled with where this delete button's sitting. You know, it's probably not a great thing. And I keep getting to put a confirm in there as well. Is that what I do? Is that in the roles? Of course. Add a role. Ah, okay, so that's in add role. Ah, put that in create role. Confirm, are you sure? Ah, so it still does it. Okay. How do I use a confirm? This is really going from memory. Yeah, gotcha. Okay, so it reads a boolean. So if. Okay. I don't want to do it on the create role. Do that on the delete though. Cool. So if you don't, it will just take that deleting weight off, and that's it. So again, it should not have sent anything. But here, now we get a delete role. It's pending, and the role's deleted. Nice. Okay. Let's see how this Spotify playlist is going. Is there any objections to this? We still feeling it? All right, so new role. Get all this. That's good. Start date, end date. That's right. Current. I want a current checkbox. Where are we? So let's get a on the employer card. I also would like a probably not a text input. End date. Man, I wonder. Input type. Checkbox? Yeah, sweet. Okay. So it does. Ah, unprocessed content. I wonder why. Description field is required. Is it though? I don't think it is. I think it's nullable in my... Pretty sure it's nullable in the database. Let's go check that. So, the employer controller, update, description, it shows up as required there, but is it actually required in the database? Employers, description, yeah, that's nullable. So I'm just going to take that. And I'll go 1200 there as well. So then we want current. Boolean. And then we want start. Oh, wonderful. Currently working here. Sweet. You know, I could probably put like a safer version of delete in here by just like forcing you to type the name of the employer into a text field, and then in order to delete it. So essentially, you know, you press delete, it opens up a text input field. It says, are you sure you want to delete? Type the employer's name into the text box, and then if it does that, it gives you the delete button. That's probably a safer user experience. I don't think I'll do that now. And actually, I'm going to just get back on track here. So we've got an employer create function now. Now, is that complete though? So employer, add employer, we get the little message there, we get that, we do get all of this. We can now also update the employer with current, and we can delete. Sweet. So we got create. Now we just need to run delete. So we've got start and end, and also current. So we've done that today. So now all we need to do is just delete. And then updating end date could update the employer end date. I don't know. Sort of unsold on that one. But we do want a delete function. So let's get that delete function happening with employer. So again, we have a... So on the employer card, nested beneath it is the role object. You can see I've got a drop role. So I'm going to do the same here. I'm going to do a drop employer. And we're sending the index through. So this employer, just the this EMP employers splice. Find the index, and then we're slicing one object out at that index location in the employers array. And of course, the employers is actually this attributes. Cool, because it's passed through with the Vue in inertia JS. So we've got so there's that. Then on the employers, on the role card, we also get a deleted event that happens on the employer. So drop employer, and so we're passing through the index, and the index appears on each instance of the employer component. So we don't need to essentially receive any parameters from the emitted event, like the deleted emitted event. All we need to do is just run this function when we hear, or when the listener hears that deleted event comes up. We just pass the index to it. What else? So there's that. Now on the role card, same thing here. So delete role, and then we emit the deleted thing. So this whole thing, I'm just going to copy that and put it on. It's on the role card. It's on the employer card now. I'm just being nice and lazy. Good and lazy. So delete employer. We pass in the employer. You know, there is probably a don't repeat yourself way to do this. there is probably... Oh, you just make a delete button. How many things are we going to delete though? Not many. Maybe a resume. Might have resume deleted bits. Yeah, there'd be a dry way to delete this, or to sort of write this, because there's only a couple of things that are changing. Deleting weight. Oh, yep, cool. So I get deleting weight. That's where I copied it across before. It's deleting weight. Delete this employer. Delete employer. Sending the employer through. Employer deleted. And we're listening for that. That's right. Just deleting weight. Error. Actually, role error. That's not even needed on the roll card anymore, because there is no reason for that. Okay, so that means I think I've got everything that I need. So, and then we'll finally drop the employer there. Okay, so we want add role. Role is created. Oh, deleting weight. Property deleting weight was accessed during render, but is not defined an instance. I wonder if that's just because type check failed for pop value. Expected string got boolean with value false. Text input, current employer. Yeah, okay. Let's have a look at that first. Yeah, it is going to be looking for a boolean, not a yeah, might just have to make a special one for that. Box. So the type is what's going to be defined as a checkbox. Width is not full. Input type needed. value is Boolean. Doesn't need a placeholder. Aria described by. That import it. Checkbox, checkbox. Cool. All right. That should have imported it. It should look better now. And we should also be missing that that warning as well. Type mismatch warning. Cool. All right. Good news. Okay, so moving on to current employer. Okay. So delete. Does it work? Ah, man. And you know what? I need to cascade a delete to all of the related roles. So I don't want to delete that employer just yet, because then I'll have a bunch of orphan roles. But I do want to delete this one, which will save there. Role created saved. Let's fix that. So employer, dashboard, create employer. Oh. Employer card, create role, update employer. Oh. Prop value, expected boolean, got string with value false. Checkbox. It might be because I'm passing through. That stuff. So here, input type, checkbox. Don't need that. And in checkbox, name, label, the value is a boolean, and value here, and current. Type check failed for prop value. Expected a boolean. Got string with value false. Ugh, hate that. What do we get? Current false. That is not a string, that is a current. Why does this do that? current is false. I hit that again. I also get that same thing. Right, so current string false now, rather than Boolean false now. Ah, it's not even showing up. What the hell? What is going on? So that's the response. Payload is that. Why does it change it to a string false? What I want to see is just the input. So HTML input elements. Just go and have a look at HTML inputs. Input types. So input type checkbox. Now type text. Submit. Radio and checkbox. Type checkbox. The user select 0 or more options of a limited number of choices. You know what? I think I know how I've solved this in the past, and it's really stupid. I think I've created a custom element that when clicked, it behaved like a checkbox, but it would explicitly set a true or a false value based on what the based on the thing, because you can't really, because this is just gonna keep passing through a string that says false, and that's gonna wreck my types, and it's gonna keep giving me this really annoying type check failure error. Expected boolean got string, the value of false, and it just seems like it's just built into that input element to always return a string value. Oh, I hate this. Okay. Well, this is a sidetrack task that we're going to do. We're going to just put a, yeah, so we're going to go make checkbox Vue component. That's what I'm going to do. I'll get my delete right first, and then we're going to come back to this checkbox element shortly. Okay, so back in the app, let's just check. So employer, if I delete this, new employer to delete, status code 404, so delete employer, the route. Oh, yep. So delete employer controller, update. Now, just back on that thing we were talking about before, we could probably just do a employer. You know, in terms of just making like a RESTful user ID. Yeah, so if that, then that, that's fine. So employer should be employer. Don't need that. And then I also wanted to find all of the roles for this employer and delete those as well. I think I've got deleting. No. Eagle loading, aggregating, collections. Actually, I wonder if this has it. No. Cool. So just going back to the web, if I just do delete employer, if I go employer and then ID, that should in theory give me a employer ID. So this route model binding that I'm doing here, I really should be sort of following that convention for roles as well. So I think a refactor is probably in order at some point. Okay, so let's join your stream. Yep, I see that. This code uses the console log function to print the... Our escape code set the text color to yellow. I'm not sure I follow what you're saying there. Anti-escape code sets the text color to yellow. Weird. Anyway. So I'm gonna change the employer card. Employer card Axios method. So delete employer Axios delete. And we'll call it delete employer. Oop. ID. Delete. And then we're passing through the employer. Although I don't think I really need to pass through the employer object now, because it's not really a post anymore. It should just, you know, it's just going to pick up that employer ID and then bind the model to the request, which is what I get when we go back to the controller here. So we do get the employer, because it's just grabbing that as it passes through the route. It should just be picking that employer up. And I am going to just return employer. I'm going to return the employer. Just to make sure I'm right here. Hey, Kitty Sushi. Welcome. Yeah, going pretty good. I've had a tremendous amount of caffeine today, so I'm feeling pretty good about this at the moment. I feel like I'm making some progress. Although I have noticed that I do need to get I need a refactor of a couple of things in my routes. But besides that, I feel pretty good about my project today. Yeah, it's just before 1 PM in the afternoon on Thursday, the 19th at the moment. All right, let's see what this does. Where's my thing? So we'll start here. Let's just see if that... Let's see what comes back. So delete. We get the delete. Okay. The response is nothing. Damn it. Yeah. Yeah, Australia is the best country on the planet. We are very lucky. We have our problems, but we're very lucky. Okay, so that's a good start, I think. I wonder if I need to put like a request thing in there. I'm just going to cheat, actually. I'm just going to go into like one of my other code bases, have a look at the way the models are laid out. Because I did resource controllers on these, and it's probably got a delete. Thank you. Store, image, autosave, edit, show, create. No, that's not what I want. Maybe garage. It's destroy, first of all. And we're just passing in the ID. I wonder if I use a delete route in any of my routes. You know, come to think of it, I don't think I actually use delete routes. Yeah, I think I use just post and get for my route. I don't really use a delete route, which is fine. So I'm just going to switch it over from a delete route to a post route. And then I guess it'll be expecting a request object to come through as well. So let's see if that makes a difference. No, it doesn't. Abstract route collection. Okay, yep, because it's the delete method. And we want a post. I'm just going to pass an empty object through there. Can't see anything. Oh, your stream's not... Yeah, don't know why that is. Sorry, the stream looks right on my end. Might be your PC. Man. Okay, so I still get an empty object. Let's go. Routing. Route groups. Route model binding. There we go. So we want users, and then it's user. Function user user. Users user. And then, so it should do that, right? You know, that should just be the user ID. I need to use that, not ID. I need to put employer in there. So in my route, I'm not putting ID because, you know, you specify the ID on the front end, you want employer. Yeah, sweet. Okay, cool. So the employer does get bound to the route. All you need to do is just make sure that you're calling it, you know, you're just using the name of the model in there, and then you reference that here on the controller method. Very cool. See, all this stuff, I've done it before, sort of stumbled onto these realizations in the past, and I can remember working this out like heaps of times in the past. But when you're in the moment, you always just need like a little bit of prompting. Just if it's been even just a couple of weeks since the last time you looked at this problem, it just helps to read the docs sometimes. Okay. So that means that delete is going to work, but I really want to cascade delete of all related models. So, where am I? Relationships. Querying. See, I thought it was in like a eager loading. So delete. And not use soft delete traits. Nope. Nope. Sometimes it may be necessary to remove a role from user. To remove a many-to-many relationship record, use the detach method. Both models will remain in the database. Yeah, so I don't want that. What I want is, can I just bulk delete? Like, if I just get a collection of roles, can I just delete all of those? Maybe that's in database. It's queries. Okay. Query builder's delete method may be used to delete records from the table. The delete method returns the number of affected rows. You may constrain delete statements by adding where clauses before calling the delete method. Well, I think that's what I want. Hey, I think I just got to get the collection of everything, like all roles that belong to that to that employer and then just call delete on that as well. So I'm going to do that. So this means that we'll be deleting both the employer and the role. So on the employer controller, we want roles equals we want to see that. So it should send back one role. Yep, so that's that role. Cool. Then we want to, I'm going to cascade delete it. Do I want to try? Nah, not for this one. Okay, so I've got this new role. We can see that employers. So we've got employer and roles. So there's two roles in there. It's employer ID. So it's probably going to be employer, the ID of 2. So that top one. And then we're going to have roles with the no. Let's see. No. Delete does not exist. Collection delete does not exist. Okay. Not taking request. Here. Right. Table. Does this depend on it just being like more of a raw statement? So table where x delete. So I just need to do okay, running a delete statement. Oh, okay. No. Since attaching and detaching just something. So delete is not a collection. Delete does not exist. Line 113. Trace. Where am I? Employer controller. Line 74. So specifically, the issue is with roles. I wonder if, like, just employer. Oh. Okay. All right. So just calling it sort of directly here without putting it into like a variable collection. If I just call roles, then call delete on roles, almost like as a single query. So what I think's happening here is that roles, instead of putting what you would put here would be a get, so that it creates a collection. Which essentially is retrieving each matching thing from the database. Instead of retrieving it, you're just calling delete on each thing that matches in the database. At least that's my working theory. So if we have a look here again, new role, cool. That role was deleted, and the employer was also deleted with ID 2. Sweet. Okay, that works. That's it. That's all I need. So that's done. So we've got delete. And now I want to make a checkbox Vue component. Oh man. Let's just think about what a checkbox needs to do. So we're going to have a unchecked state and a checked state. And it's just going to be it's just going to be a button, really. So let's make that look the way we want it to look. I'm gonna use some styles for probably just an input style, and we're just going to start modifying that item here. So I'm going to change it from input to a button. Or is it even going to be a button? Maybe it should just be a div. Nah, it'll be a button. And the reason for that is that we're going to do I'm just going to change like the background based on what the value is. So I'm not going to emit value from there. I'm going to put a method. Do I even need to have it? I don't even need a method, do I? I can just do a button and then at click, emit update value, event target value. No, not even. Because you're not really manipulating the value directly. So at click, yeah, I think I do need a method. So I think I'll just do toggle. It will be this value equals this value. And then you emit the value. Click, toggle. How do I do conditional classes? Can't remember how the syntax is for conditional classes. What does that look like? Where have I done that before? So it goes something like bind it, and then it is value, and then you put question marks, and then you put one for your regular class. Why does it do that, I wonder? No, it doesn't like using the same. It wants like a single comma, I think. Nope. String constant. Oh man, I know this. I don't know where I put that. I think it's in the Vue docs. Conditional classes. So I just want to find the conditional classes. Oh, yep. So I can do that. Aha, put it in the braces. Of course. Okay, all right, so I'm binding it there. I'm putting it, cool. So it's checking a Boolean, and then you put a question mark there, and then it is, that's the class that you want to give it. This will apply the error class, but active class will only be applied when is active is truthy. Cool. If you have multiple conditional classes, that's why it's also possible to use the object syntax inside array syntax. Active is active. And then error class. So active is the class. So if it's active, we do if is active. And can I have just like a base class? I think maybe I can. I think I might be able to put like a base class. Right there, where the error class is. Anyway, so we want that. And that. And then question mark. Cool, so we want, put it in the braces. So if value, and because value should be a Boolean, that's like the only thing we need to worry about. So then active class. Is it just having a fit? Hmm. That's it. Okay. See what's happening there. So set on proxy false-ish. So if it changes to true, it should be that. That should show up red. And just because I want to change the can I just change that? No, I can't just change it directly in there. I thought I could. I thought I used to be able to just change that. Lame. Oh. And every time I hit touch app layout, it has a fit. Okay, so we're going to... I'm just going to go in and change it to true in the database, just because I would like to... Just want to make sure that the styling is going to work. Cool. All right, so it shows up correct. So now we just want it to actually execute properly. So type error set proxy trap return false-ish for property value. Right. It's supposed to be it's false-ish for property value. Let's just change from to equal this, equal negative, or not this. Well, first I want to oh no, I didn't want to do that. Attempting to mutate prop value. Props are read-only. Right. Okay. So I'm not doing this. I am, in fact, going to emit the event. And then I guess I'll just put like toggle on the outside of this. I really wanted it all to be kind of self-contained. Ah. No. Event target value. I'm emitting a value with it. So that means that I'm just going to put this here. Yeah. So emit, update value, sending through negative this value, and then it should update the value to the opposite of this value when it goes in. This emit. Oh, feeling pretty good about that. That's real nice. Okay, good. What else have we got here? So then on that employer card, on that change, so checkbox, change, think that's right. So it's going to do both update that and then also send through the update employer. Cool. Comes back. False or true? So that should be... Oh, okay. What have I got wrong here? It's escape. So press that. Right, okay. So false. Ah. Yeah, it's not even taking any of my Oh man, I love Vue. Hello, welcome E. Holdridge. Yeah, you know what? I have Vue as my first JavaScript framework, and I didn't realize just how lucky I was to originally learn with Vue until I started trying to learn React, and React is just like a pile of headaches for me. So yeah, Vue's wonderful. It's it makes it so easy. Like there's so much less boilerplate that you need to write compared to other popular frameworks that I've seen. So, and the documentation is wonderful. You know, I was able to just go and search and find what I was looking for, and you know, get everything. Oh, I've got to put a comma after it. I'm going to try that. Yeah, so Vue is great to use. So let's go back to this checkbox. Ah, cool. So it takes out all the other stuff, and then I actually think that it wants BG Ray. All right, so it keeps, so see what I just did there? So with this conditional class, so the Boolean value it's checking here, this is the condition if true, and then you put a colon, and then you've got the condition is if false. Might be the other way around, actually. I'll just check that. So that should say true. Cool, it does. So we get a true, and so that means it's a current employer. If I press it again, it's not. Now I could probably use a bit more of a visual cue. Terms center, maybe. Man, I just worked this out. What was it for that button? Button. Flex, items end. That's what we want. Checkbox. Flex, items end. Ugh. Okay. Damn it. Yeah, right. So that's going all the way to the bottom. Maybe I don't need that. Maybe I just need to define the height a little bit better. Height 8. And why? Now let's go MX 2. Maybe 3. Yeah, that's okay. I think I want to put a... I think I want to put like a tick in there. I'm using those icons, so hero icons. So I should just be able to make a tick. Check icon. Oop. Can I just put that there? Okay, no. What am I doing with these hero icons? Do something with spinner, text area. No. I think I had it in maybe layout. Banner, drop down. Components. I think it's in the nav, responsive nav, secondary button, border, text, welcome, no. I'm just going to have a look in the package because we're using Tailwind. Hero icons. Vue hero icons solid. That's what I want. So I think that should fix my import issue here. It should just be getting that check from hero icon solid. Now what? Size. Check icon. Cannot read properties of undefined reading. Size. We're supposed to have a... I didn't think there was a requirement for that. Oh, hero icon solid. Is it the same one? Hero icon solid. Hero icon solid. Oh, it is. Okay. Check icon from hero icon solid. Okay, so it shouldn't really be looking for something because it's got a default size in there. So you should just be able to send a size through. Okay, well I'm going to put a prop of size in there just to see. Just see. Grr. Undefined reading size. Ah, what? Expected string. Right, okay, so I don't want that. Man. And the worst thing is that like it shouldn't even take any of these extra arguments because none of the other icons require this. Could not find. No, it can. Components, check icon. Yeah, just getting that. So props. I'm going to see if there's any other icons. I'm going to see if that error is persistent. God damn it, it is. Okay. All right. This is what I'm going to do. No, I'm not. I'm going to hit F12. I'm going to find this element, and then I'm going to copy that element, and then I'm going to put it right here. How does that catch you? How does that grab you? Does that work? Does that do what it's supposed to do? All I wanted was an icon, you know? I just wanted a goddamn icon, and there it is. Right there. So now I have to go in here, and I have to tinker with the SVG, and that's fine. So view box, fill current color. Yeah, current color, which is going to be whatever the text. Should be that. Yep. Going to specify that. I'm going to put class on there as height 6 and width 6. So it falls in line with that, or does it? No, it doesn't. Well, what is that? That's 1.5. So I'm going to just... This is such a bad way to do it. But you know what? Sometimes you just gotta look at that. Isn't that amazing? Yeah, that's right. It's dirty, but it works. I'm not even changing the color. I'm not hiding or changing the element. All I'm doing is just making it the same color as the background. Yeah, dirty, but it works. And I'm going to move on. I get to keep moving with the rest of my day. All right. So that's that checkbox done. Roles, employers. I've got... So I can now add roles. I can delete roles with a confirmation. I can delete employers. That should also just have a wait status over the delete button. So we're just going to go back there to the employer card, and that delete. Delete waiting, deleting wait, deleting wait, this deleting wait, true. Because it should have just put a wait condition over the top of that. Whatever. Employer, new employer created. I need a toast message for new employer created. I guess not. Let's see, current employer. Oh no. Start was the 1st, end was the 12th. Add a role. Oh, here we go. Cannot read properties of undefined. Reading push. Add role. Huh. Alright, let's figure out what that is. Reading push. Cannot read properties of undefined. Reading push. I betcha it's because it's a brand new employer. So we've created a new employer, but there is no roles object, or like there's no empty array of roles to push into. So it's expecting to have an array of roles to push a new role into, and there's none there. So I think for consistency in the front end, so when we receive data back from the back end, like the back end is your source of truth. So I don't really want to go creating the array of roles on the front end, because then I'm going to have like a conditional where I have to check to see if there is a array of roles, and if not, then I create the array. So I'm going to just handle that on the back end when I create the new employer. So the new employer is going to come with a query, if that makes sense. So we get a create employer, and when we do an employer control, no, update create. Okay, so employer save, and then go here, I can go emp roles, and that should just attach like an empty collection. It queries a database though. Can I just do that instead? And it's going to send back a array. Because what I don't want to do is like force it to like have it actually query the database, because that's just like taking up like resources that is for nothing. Like that's a database query it doesn't need to do. So I'm going to see if that works. I'll delete this. So we'll add an employer, and we should get back a employer with just an empty roles array, which means that we should just be able to go add role, and then it plugs it into. Can't you just make it nullable? What do you mean? Make which nullable? Ah, and Bardbaz, you've been here before. Welcome back. So just to walk you through my code. So on the employer, so the create role method, so we press our button and we get a create role method. So here we are posting to create role. We're sending through the ID of the employer, so we know we can connect it to the employer. And then when it receives the new empty role back from the database, we're pushing that new role into the employer's roles array. And so it's assumed that every employer is always going to have a roles array. And the reason it's assumed is on the employer controller. Oh, actually, no, just here in our dashboard. So employers always get retrieved with roles. So, you know, if you're coming back to this dashboard for the first time, you just know that every employer that's rendered on this dashboard just automatically has a roles object within it. And they should all be displayed here. So this way now we get employers. Sweet. So because I'm doing that check, because I'm doing that browse check, it's, do you see what I mean? Like it's, I've got a, so in the employer card, I've got a delete, I've got a confirmation, but I'm also doing this state change here that changes that. I wonder. I wonder why it's doing that. Why it's taking so long. Curious questions. I think that might be the browser. Like, so we're interrupting what happens in here. Or like we're interrupting maybe the DOM updating because we're doing the confirm. So when we update the deleting wait, it doesn't matter too much, but I mean, if the user has clicked it and then the button doesn't like disappear, or and that button remains, I don't know. I don't know if that's a big enough problem to get fussy over. I do want a confirmation, and it doesn't delete anything extra if they do press the button again. All they get is just that error message. So in terms of like, what's the user experience and like, what is the real cost to the user experience? Probably minimal. Checkbox Vue component. That's a checkbox Vue component done. Got all of these bits. Updating end date could update the employer end date. So do I want to pass stuff from the roles? So if I've got like a roles end date, do I want to do something fancy and send that one up? Or, I don't know, that, you know what? I feel like that's adding polish and fanciness to an application that is ultimately not really usable. Like, it is not minimum viable product yet. And so adding something like this doesn't add any value, or it doesn't advance the build towards the delivery of a minimum viable product. And what is our goal? They can save role descriptions, can create different versions of the resume based on jobs they apply for. And we've really only got two models, which is employers and roles. And there's resumes, has one contact details. So what do I want to work on next? Probably a good question for people in the chat, assuming there's anyone there. Have we still got people in the chat? What should I work on next? Because I'm thinking probably summaries. Odd player. Thanks for dropping by, guys. It's been sweet having you here, and I will hope to catch you in the next stream. See ya.